Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, and a hey now. And a hey now. Welcome to hour number 2 of the line. Notice a lot of y'all are joining us on YouTube, watching the show live, which is very exciting. Y'all should do that more often. Jump on the live stream and watch the show. Real Talk 99.5 TV is the YouTube channel. Real Talk 99.5 TV. Look it up on your YouTube app, on your desktop, or whatever. Subscribe and watch us in real time. The numbers have been going up because Carrie started to get we started putting Carrie on the screen, right?
That was just a one-time thing.
Now go ahead and do it again.
Oh, man.
Go ahead and do it again. Look at that. And immediately, as soon as you do that, our numbers go up.
Well, it's, what can I say? People want to see the person behind the board, I guess.
People want to see greatness. That's what they want to see. They want to see a legend that's...
I'll go with that. That sounds good.
They want to see a legend who's been trapped in this business for, 20 years. How long you been in the business?
About 20 years. That sounds right. Yep. Maybe probably longer than that.
Which is actually, if you've been in radio 20 years, you're technically being held hostage.
Yes, I would agree with that.
You do it for the love of the game for the first 10 years.
Yes.
Then after that, you're just trapped.
That's a good way to put it. No, I'm kidding. No. I do it because I like it.
Yeah, it's
I didn't say love it. I like it.
He just likes it, and it really depends on what day it is.
That's true too.
So, but how's it going? Damian Mitchell came in early today, so I'm sorry you didn't get to see him. But how's everything else going?
Oh, just worried about all the protesters in Minnesota. Poor guys.
That's where I should go on my vacation. I should go to Minnesota.
Oh, that'd be great.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Get some check it all out
on the street interviews.
Yeah, I could do some freelance reporting for the station.
I think you should do that.
Nah, I'm good. I'm going.
You'd rather go to Tampa?
I'm going to Tampa.
Why would you want to go to Tampa where it's warm?
I'm going to Tampa, Florida, man.
Warm and sunny, cold and dreary.
I can't wait, man. We leave Wednesday and come back on Monday, and it's just it's been a while. Tampa's like a little over 8 hours from here, and it's been a while since I've gone on a trip like that. It's been a while since I've even gone to Florida.
Really?
Usually.
When was the last time you were in Florida?
Gosh, I don't even know.
Man,
I think the last time I ended up in Florida was on an Uber ride. I was taking somebody to Panama City Beach.
Man.
So it was just drop them off and come back.
What was that final cost?
I think I paid like $500 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember. But it was an all-day ordeal. That's for sure.
I bet it was.
But yeah, so that was, and before that, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I went to Fort Morgan. Or is Fort Morgan in Florida?
Yeah, that's in Mobile.
Is it? Okay, so I don't know.
Heck, I don't.
My dad
Fort Pickens is in Pensacola, then Fort Morgan is in, yeah.
My dad used to live in Mexico Beach.
Oh, that's cool.
Before it got blown away by the hurricane.
They built it back pretty well, though.
Yeah, they did. That may have been the last time I went, which is probably like 10 years ago. What am I?
That's
maybe 10 or
close to 10.
Yeah, probably even over 10, probably like 12 or 13 years ago.
Well, you were in for a surprise then. It's changed. I'm just kidding.
But, usually when I go out of town, I'm going to like Atlanta or Knoxville or Gatlinburg, or I go to Missouri like to visit my mom. But outside of that, I don't really take any trips.
You should fly to Tampa.
Trust me, I wish I could.
Really?
Yeah.
You would do it.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I think it's better for us to drive. So, one, we've got a vehicle down there. But two, we've got the freedom to come and go as we want.
True.
When you fly down there, you're kind of trapped, and then you're reliant. Of course, I could get a rental car, but you just kind of, I don't know. I feel like I'm better with having my own vehicle.
Yeah, 8 hours. I mean, that's not too bad.
And I'm gonna have to be in the car for 8 hours with one John Bird as well.
Oh, dear.
I know that's the part that stresses me out
Oh, no.
because he's going with us.
That'll be fun, though.
Yeah.
You will not be bored on the ride down.
No. Well, actually, I don't think he's not going with us on the ride down, but he's coming with us on the ride back.
Oh.
So, and the ride back is always worse because
Oh.
one, it's the end of your vacation, and two, you're just like exhausted and ready to get home.
And tired of being around the people you've been with.
Right.
I got it.
So, yeah, the ride back is worse.
Will you let him drive?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm gonna let him relax in the back. You know, we got seats in the back, and they actually recline.
Oh, wow.
So I'll probably give him a couple Xanax and just
That's probably smart.
let him pass out.
Probably smart.
You know, be
Yep.
like, hey, listen, man, we're gonna leave tomorrow. Stay up all night, and I'll make sure you get some good rest on the way home.
That's a long. He'll be all right.
I know. I'll probably have to take some Xanax myself. Something about when I ride in the car with somebody, I feel like I have panic attacks come on.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why.
Oh, John Bird may not be the best person to ride with. Right?
I know. I don't know what's gonna happen. We're gonna make it work.
I'm sure we'll have reports via
Oh, yeah.
Facebook.
Oh, I'll be doing live videos throughout the week. So
That'll be good.
I'll be going live on the Over the Line YouTube channel.
That'll be good. I look forward to it.
Thursday we're gonna do a pig roast,
Man,
like an actual full pig. Yep.
really?
Mm-hmm.
That's that sounds like it'd be good.
And then another party on Friday night, and another party on Saturday night.
Well, you're just going party, aren't
Yeah, it's a 3-day ordeal.
you? Man,
It's pretty wild. Very excited.
That'll be fun.
Get to see a lot of my buddies that I haven't seen yet down there. So,
you'll have fun.
yeah, it'll be a good time. But I'll be back on Tuesday of that following week. So, y'all don't worry. I'm coming back. And I know you're thinking, everybody just went on vacation all the time. Like, I know, but I had to save my vacation for this. And I've had this plan for months, probably since middle of last year. So it's a must. It's a must. All right. 205-545-9950 if you want to get in. A lot of stuff. You had Kristi Noem, by the way, just holding a press conference and taking questions from reporters where she is outright saying that officer, that ICE officer, acted in self-defense yesterday when shooting the she-her that tried to ram him with a vehicle. We've all got the same video footage. Everybody's seeing the same thing. And it's obvious that that car was driving towards an ICE officer. Now, if you want to make the argument that she didn't do it maliciously or she did it out of fear or whatever, even in any other law enforcement interaction, like you can't drive away out of fear and expect no consequences. That doesn't happen anywhere in this country. You're not allowed to do that. But on top of it, outside of whatever the girl's mentality was when she drove forward, whether she was just trying to get away or she was trying to hit the ICE officer. ICE officers have had their vehicles and their persons rammed so many times over the past several weeks that it's already in the back of their mind. Every one of these ICE officers, it's already in the back of their mind that people want to run them over. And so how would you react if, with all of that going on around you, with you seeing it over and over and over, how would you react if a car who's obviously being hostile with law enforcement, that's obviously there for the protest against what you're doing, how are you going to react when that individual starts driving their car towards you? You're just going to say, well, maybe they'll stop. Hell no. You're going to blast them. That's what we'd all do. And so this is 100% self-defense. 100% justified action. Hate that the girl lost her life, but don't go around ramming federal officers because you're going to FAFO. It's as simple as that. Alan's on the line. Alan, what's up?
You know what? I've about lost faith in people from Blount County being able to find their way around, even in Alabama. Hey now,
Hey now, what'd I do?
Blount County, come on. Fort Morgan is Alabama. Baldwin County, as far southwest as you can go in Baldwin County.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I mean, I know where Baldwin County is. I just didn't know if Fort Morgan where it was. Listen, I graduated from Locust Fork High School, dude.
Hey, you probably went to school with the Hicks.
I did. I went to Locust Fork High School.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I'm talking about a Hicks as in their last name.
Oh, yeah, I probably went to school with them too.
Donnie Hicks' family.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably did. I'm sure.
But
I
I
went to
was
school
going
with
to
a bunch
call
of
you the
Hicks.
other day when you. Yeah, I was going to call you when you were out. You got to change your walk-up song because you like to got me in trouble with my wife the other day.
What happened?
I'm always changing her when I drive her vehicle, mostly go get her gas. I changed the radio station from her Sirius Chris Stapleton to 99.5. And I had gone got gas, come back. We were going to get something to eat, and I was trying to change the radio station because your walk-up song comes on, and I think, oh, my God, I have left it on this, and she is fixing to give me holy hell. And my wife said, what are you doing? I said, getting it off 99.5. She says, no, that's Chris Stapleton. I said, no, it ain't. I said, that's Hey Now's walk-up music. She started laughing at me. I had lost my literal mind because Chris Stapleton actually plays your walk-up song occasionally.
Oh, does he? Do we have a Chris Stapleton
yeah.
song? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see that. I like Chris
his-
Stapleton.
His station actually plays that, so.
Oh, his
Now I have to
station
be real careful.
plays the song I use. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, he plays that. Anyway, I love your show. Learn your GPS, learn your geography a little better, or GPS is going to put you out in the Gulf of America at one point.
All right, Alan. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Yeah. Oh, listen, man. I told you I didn't travel. What do you think? I'm just sitting around looking at Fort Morgan on my Google Maps while I'm sitting in Blount County.
I mean, if you have internet, yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to look at the map right now. As a matter of fact.
Drive south till you can't drive anymore and take a right.
Well, see, my thing was I didn't know if Fort Morgan was like right across the state line or what. So let's see. We're in Baldwin County, Bay Minette, Robertsdale. Where's I'd have made my way to Pensacola. Hold on.
Oh, see, there you go. You're in Pensacola.
Gulf Shores, Dauphin Island. How far down is it?
It's as
There's
far
Orange
down as you
Beach.
can go.
Fort Morgan is?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that would be right if it's
Behind
okay.
Gulf Shores.
Yeah, there it is. It's a little stretch coming off of Gulf Shores,
Right.
off the west side of Gulf Shores. Okay. Yeah. See, I knew that.
You were close.
That's close.
It's not a big deal.
You know, if I do Fort Morgan to Pensacola, well, it's an hour and 23 minutes. That's a little further than I thought. But anyway, yeah,
You
it's
can't
fine.
you can't drive. Yeah, you know.
Okay, so whatever. But yeah, hell, it may not have even been Fort Morgan I went to. I don't know.
It
May have been Fort Knox. I don't remember where I went. I went to the beach somewhere. And this is your fault because you were asking me when the last time I went to the
well, it
beach.
is my fault, and I apologize. But I figured you knew where Fort Morgan was since you lived in Alabama for how long now?
It's fine. I live in north central Alabama.
Did you ever take Alabama history, Alabama geography?
Nah, yeah, but I didn't pay attention to that.
Uh,
That was some of the most boring classes in school. Like, I was not feeling that stuff. I
well,
was not feeling Alabama history.
the Choctaw and the Creek Indians.
Yeah, it was very confusing to me.
Yeah, it was to me too.
So, but who knows? Maybe we'll do a whole show on the tribes and the history of Alabama and go through the civil rights movement and the Freedom Riders and MLK and Edmund Pettus Bridge. We'll do it all one day. How does that?
I look forward to that.
How does that sound? All right. 205-545-9950. Some big issues going on today. We're going to get to it when we get back. Hang tight. All right, so now everybody's hitting me up about Fort Morgan. Saw that coming. Christina says Fort Morgan is technically Gulf Shores. Now, did you know that, Carrie?
I actually did.
Oh, well. Caleb says Andrew will absolutely hit something in the interstate like a refrigerator or floor jack or something ridiculous and have a whole ordeal. Let's not say that. Let's not put that in the atmosphere. It's what my wife tells me. She said, don't put that in the atmosphere.
They want you to hit a refrigerator?
Well, they're just saying something's going to happen on the way to Tampa or on the way back, and it'll be a whole ordeal. I mean, the last time I did go out of town, we went to Helena, Georgia.
Yeah.
And I hit the handicap sign.
Yep, new car too.
Handicap gate. Brand new car.
I do
Ran
remember
all
that.
over.
It's one of my first weeks as on your show. And I went, God, this guy, man.
I ran all over that
It
stuff.
was one thing after another.
Yeah, dude. Let's see. Tommy says Fort Pickens is on Pensacola Beach, so that might be where you went. Nah, I think it was Fort Morgan. Davey says the same thing. Fort Pickens is in the west side of Pensacola Beach. Now, I'm pretty sure it was Fort Morgan because there was a hurricane blowing through while we were down there, but it didn't hit Fort Morgan, but it came close, and like the waves, dude, were gnarly.
You can take a little boat ferry from Fort Morgan to Dauphin Island.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You should try that at least once.
Yeah, I should go down there. Maybe we'll go down there this summer.
Go through Bayou La Batterie.
Can we look at this this live shot of Minnesota right now and these old ladies that are on the front lines? Let's see if it pans over to her real quick. There she is, right there on the right. And she is shaking, waving her hands, screaming at ICE agents. The patience that these ICE agents have to have, by the way, is immense. Because I would want to punch each and every one of these people in the face.
Yeah, it takes a lot of restraint for these guys.
I would want to use force at every single turn. Because these individuals are mocking them. They're mocking their family. They're wishing their kids dead, their wife dead. Look at this. Oh, we're gonna have an interaction right here.
Do these people not have a job? I mean, damn.
Right.
What are they doing? Where are they? I mean, I'm gonna need off work today again to go protest.
Yeah, it's wild, man, that these people have enough time. And I know conventional thinking is, well, these are paid protesters, but you know, I think a lot of these in particular are organic. Now, if the protests end up turning out on a wide scale and property starts to get damaged and federal buildings start to get attacked, that will likely be more of the paid protesters. But I think these are just Minnesota lunatics, the type that vote for Tim Walz and Jacob Fry. And after Jacob Fry came out yesterday and acted all tough and everything and told ICE to get the F out of Minneapolis, he does that. He says, get the F out of Minneapolis, and then goes on to say, but we're not going to respond with hate. Well, no, you said get the F out of Minneapolis and told your supporters to go confront these individuals. You said in your press conference that ICE murdered this chick in cold blood.
He had seen the tapes.
And he had seen the tapes. We know exactly what happened. Don't let them spin this. Don't let the Trump administration spin this. It's amazing. And every time something like this happens, whether it's George Floyd or whatever, Michael Brown, any of these situations, the left always ends up on the wrong side. It doesn't matter the evidence that comes out about some incident that involves that includes the death of an individual by law enforcement. Doesn't matter the facts. Doesn't matter how much video we have. Doesn't matter how many autopsies we have. They always side with the wrong person every time. And this is just the latest case. These people are stupid. I mean, ignorant individuals. But we'll get to that. There's an even bigger scandal brewing right now that popped off yesterday. AOC is claiming that Jesse Waters is sexually harassing her. Well, that's right. We'll get to that when we get back. Okay, now Tim Walz is giving an update amid the shooting controversy, so I'll have to put AOC sexual harassment on the back burner, but we'll get to that after this press conference.
Professionals. We've delivered that. We've been able to do it. We've earned the trust. And when I say that, the trust of BCA, and I tell Minnesotans the trust of law enforcement here. Everyone knows, globally, certainly here, that George Floyd, who was murdered a few blocks from this site, tore at the soul of who we were. But we healed. We built back trust. Chief Brian O'Hara came in and took one of the most difficult jobs in America of building back trust in the police force in Minneapolis after Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd. And he's earned that. And he's level. And he's fair. And he's asking for that. And so, Minnesotans, I will continue to press that we be part of the investigation, that we do the investigation, so that Minnesotans can trust what the outcome is. I don't have a predetermined notion. Yes, I saw the video. Yes, I saw that. But a thorough investigation will see what happened before that. It will take all factors in, and it will come up with a fair and just conclusion. And we will accept that. Very, very difficult for Minnesotans to think in any way this is going to be fair when Kristi Noem was judge, jury, and basically executioner yesterday. That's very, very difficult to think that they were going to be fair. With that being said, Minnesotans, we've risen to the occasion so far, but it's going to get challenging. It's going to be challenging because I feel your anger. The human desire to lash out in this moment is very real. I can tell you that that is the wish of many people, that they fulfill the wish they want to see us turn on one another, turn towards violence rather than peaceful reconciliation, rather than peaceful civil disobedience. And we have to do our best to not play into that. I say this too when I saw yesterday some of the anger, whether it's Minneapolis Police, Minnesota State Patrol, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, Minnesota National Guard. They are there to protect and serve, as it said. They are there to protect Minnesotans. Throwing your anger at them only inflames this situation. And I know some of you were up at the Whipple building this morning, and to the press who are here, I saw some of this myself. Thank you. Continue to have access to every single space. Continue to cover this story. Continue to show the world what's out there. I will say it where our president won't. The press are the defenders of our democracy. You need to be there. But I also tell folks, protect our Minnesotans who are out there and don't turn the anger to them. This is a brazen use of force. They want us to bend the knee. They want us to capitulate. The way we give them what they want is allow them to use this as an excuse to put more troops on the ground. Use them as an excuse to show that these are violent protests. And I also witnessed what I think is going to be a pattern over the next few days and the coming hours, is I saw an individual show up there with the intent to antagonize folks who were peacefully protesting, with a bullhorn to scream at them. And again, the desire to move on that individual is exactly what they want, because our respect for the First Amendment means we will expect and respect all opinions. If this individual is there expressing support for ICE, that's their constitutional right to do so, and they need to be protected. Don't allow that to be a catalyst to create violence. We believe in states' rights. We believe the federal government needs to stay out of this. We believe that the situation has gotten worse and less safe because of their presence. And I will just say there were two incidents yesterday I saw after this that just tore at my soul. I saw an individual at the scene identify themselves as medical personnel, a physician, and asked to provide aid, and an ICE agent said, "I do not care." That lack of humanity was chilling to me. And after this incident happened, and after the tensions rose, ICE agents entered a Minnesota school, causing disruptions at that school. I can't say this strongly enough as governor, as a parent, as a teacher. To our elected representatives, Democrats and Republicans, I beg you, I implore you to tell them to stay out of our schools. This tragedy will be magnified 100-fold if this fight moves into the hallways of our public schools amongst our youth. And they're watching us. They're watching us now, how we respond. So I've got a few simple asks. Let us, the professionals, handle this on Minnesota soil, this investigation. De-escalate this situation by removing yourselves from this situation with these 2,000 agents that were put here. And above all else, stay out of our schools. I'd like to ask you to care, but that might be a step too far for some people. But I know Minnesotans care. So we'll protest peacefully. We will win in courts. We will certainly win in the defense of our democracy because the American people see what's happening here. But the way that we don't win and the way that we lose, if this turns towards violence and allows them to escalate. It cannot happen. So I ask the grass-top leaders out there, the faith leaders, the folks who are on the streets, and in many times the true leaders are not the elected officials. They're the folks on the ground. I beg you, implore you, follow those words of the leaders we've had. I had the privilege of serving with John Lewis, and John talked about good trouble. I'm not telling you not to find good trouble, but I asked John many times, I said, John, I don't know if I'd have your self-restraint. Didn't you want to lash out? He said, yes, daily. But he said, I wanted to win this. I wanted to do what right, and I wanted justice to prevail. And to do that, I knew the only way was to not lash out, to not give in to that. So to each and every one of you, we're not going to win this through violence. We're going to win it through justice. We're going to win it through compassion. We're going to win it through Minnesota Nice. And we're going to win it by holding every one of these people accountable as they should for what we've seen on the streets of Minneapolis. With that, I'm going to turn to Commissioner Jacobson to give you a situation update.
Thank you, Governor. Again, I'm Bob Jacobson, and it is my honor to serve as the Commissioner of Public Safety. First of all, again, I want to express my sincere condolences to the loved ones.
Okay,
of
so
Renee
we'll
Nicole.
butt in on this as they go through. I don't know what they're going to give there, but a couple things from Tim Walz there. He was talking about the absurdity of somebody showing up with a bullhorn to antagonize the anti-ICE protesters. Somebody with a bullhorn. That's what your people are always doing. He then goes on to stoke the flames even further to say that ICE is blocking medical personnel from getting to people in need of medical care, and then saying that ICE, alluding to at the very least, and this is very generous, that ICE is now conducting raids on schools. He says ICE was going into a school yesterday, or I guess today, and he begs elected officials to keep ICE from going into our schools. Now, that's the first I'd heard of that, and I thought, well, that's kind of odd that ICE would be going into a public school. And so I looked to find whatever I can, and of course, you know, CBS News and others are reporting on this. And when I read through the very short CBS News article, it tells of a story of someone who told them that ICE agents were tackling individuals that were on school grounds, such as outside the school, maybe on the sidewalk, which tells me that this crowd continues to grow. And what happened is the protesters just happened to be standing in front of a school, the protesters that are harassing ICE agents. And so ICE agents went to make arrests that just happened to be in front of a school. But instead of telling that story, if that is in fact the case, because I haven't seen it, he told the story of ICE agents going into schools and terrorizing people. That's the story that Tim Walz just gave the people. And then he goes, John Lewis told me you need to get into good trouble, and we don't want to get violent, even though I just spent the past 20 minutes telling you all the reasons why you should get violent. Jacob Frey did the same thing yesterday. He gave you all the reasons. He gave their people all the reasons that they should be getting violent. And then in the bylines, in very small print, says, but we got to do it peacefully. He's not saying do it peacefully because he wants you to do it peacefully. He's saying that so he can cover his ass once the city starts being burnt down again for the second time in 5 years. Well, I said peacefully. I'm not for this. Something about Minnesota, something about Minneapolis. It's as if they want their city destroyed. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Is there kickbacks from contractors and people that rebuild the city after it's burned to the ground? And the city really hasn't even been rebuilt. Minneapolis, rather, is still a hellhole. So, I don't know, man. But what I do know is that these people are instigating violence. And all the while they instigate that very violence, they say, don't play into it because that's what they want. Then he means they by the Trump administration. The Trump administration wants y'all to get violent. Yeah, because we love deploying all these resources and wasting all this money on having to fight you losers in the streets. If we enjoyed the violence, we'd let y'all duke it out. We'd let y'all beat each other up in the streets, and we'd sit back with our popcorn and watch it. The violence comes from one side. And one side only. We're just days after some lunatic tried to break into J.D. Vance's personal home. Example after example after example. And Tim Walz says, well, they're the ones that are violent. They want to fight you. It's ridiculous. Tom in Pell City. Tom, what's up?
Well, you got me back, man. I told you I wasn't going to watch the news unless it was big.
I told you it would take, what'd I say,
swear,
7-8 days?
I swear.
I said,
Thanks a lot, Minneapolis, whatever you are.
I told you 7-8
looks
days,
like
Tom, for
Battle
Pell
Line.
City to be back.
Looks like one of these, looks like the battle line's been drawn, cuz it's just going to see who's got the cojones to throw the first bullet. Because if it comes from the lunatics, guarantee you, United States is going to kick their A, and they ain't going to have a ground to stand on. I guarantee it, Trump will swoop in and stop all this crap.
Yeah, people need to learn quick that Trump ain't messing around this administration.
Well, what's he waiting on? I'm like, come on, cuz, go in there, tell Walz to go sit behind a jail cell and go in and take care of these idiots. The idiot with the flag that's got in his hand, he needs to take that flag somewhere else because he ain't no American, that's for sure. And there's a bonehead on there wearing a mink coat, it looks like, because it's cold there. You know, I'm like, and what's the buses? There's buses or somebody bringing in buses now or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want somebody just to have the cojones and say, let's go. Let's do it. Whoever's got the balls to shoot the first weapon, let's go. And see what happens. Get your popcorn out, man. It's going to be interesting.
You got that right. All right, Tom.
Later.
See you, buddy. There's Tom. Tom's always here for that. I knew he wasn't going to last. Remember, before we hit the new year, Tom said, I am not doing any news for 2026. And yet here we are, January 8th, and we got Tom back.
Man, it didn't last long, did it?
It did not last.
You can't blame him, though. Can't blame him.
He blames Minneapolis.
Yes, I agree with him.
All right, 205-545-9950. Let me hit a break. Come back on the other side. More of your phone calls coming up right after this. All right, so for the sake of argument, Tim Walz is back taking questions. And as the media asks these questions, let's see exactly what he's got to say.
To backfill a predeceived notion. All right. So I got time for.
That the state can do to put in additional protection around schools or to allow for additional e-learning days for these situations?
Yeah, it's interesting, Dana, that you would ask that. We were just, as we were coming in here discussing, someone asked about that, and they mentioned Ruby Bridges and the Little Rock folks about escorting people in. We have not determined that yet, but it is a situation that we're going to have to explore. As I said, again, the thing that cut me deeply was watching what happened in our schools and the chaos. And I was on with Commissioner Jett this morning as he's talking to folks from St. Cloud to Duluth about what they think about today. Should we be in classes today and tomorrow in those schools, or does it pose a potential risk? And so we're trying to figure that out. I think many of the things and the lessons we learned during COVID is local communities and local schools being able to make some of these decisions in the long run probably gets us better outcomes, but we are deeply concerned with that. I'm going to come back as soon as we get any more information from all of you. We'll be in front of you again. I will reiterate, and many of you know my wife Gwen, the First Lady, is an English and literature teacher, and we were talking about some of this, and she got asked the question, and it was when will all of this end? And what Gwen said, it will end when enough people say it will end, and I think that is sage advice. And then I couldn't help but thinking, and it scares me a little bit. I heard those words. We remembered, many of us in here in sophomore, and we read it, that the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most important directive. It certainly feels like that in this moment, and so I want Minnesotans to not believe that I'm telling you not to be angry, not to be scared, not to be feeling a little bit hopeless in this moment. But I would also say this, and I saw it last night, I saw it during George Floyd, I've seen it throughout our history. When things looked really bleak, it was Minnesota's first that held that line for the nation. On that July 3rd, 1863. And I think now we may be in that moment that the nation's looking to us to hold the line on democracy, to hold the line on decency, to hold the line on accountability, and more than that, to rise up as neighbors and simply say, we can look out for one another, we can have differences, but we've proved to the world going on 250 years that our democracy could hold. It feels to me like we're at one of those inflection points, that simply asking our government to give us accountability, listen to local leaders, ratchet down the rhetoric, let people feel safe in their person, and let's let our kids go to school without fear. Let's let our kids go to school knowing that tomorrow could be a little better day. And so we're going to work on that. I'll leave you with this, and I'm not sure when we'll get in front of you next, but to Minnesotans, again, just one last time, don't give them what they want. Don't give them the unrest that they want. Don't give in to allowing them to bring more folks in here. Don't allow them to expand this somewhere else. Rise up, wrap your arms around your neighbors, peacefully express your First Amendment and your constitutional rights, and let's start healing, get some answers, and move Minnesota forward. Thank you.
All right, so there's Tim Walz, who's absolutely full of ish. Here's the best scenario for Tim Walz, and this is why he's so in the middle of it, is because this now distracts from the major fraud problem in Minnesota. He was under the gun. Like the crosshairs were on Tim Walz. And the full weight of the federal government was and still is coming down on Minnesota based on that fraud. But he thinks in his mind, hey, I've got a situation here. I've got a George Floyd 2.0 where I can distract everybody from all the fraud stuff. And I can be the one to come out and say that Minnesota is going to defend democracy. Minnesota is going to be the state that saves all other 49 states from autocracy, from dictatorship. We're going to be the ones to save America. That's what he just told you. This is a gift to Tim Walz. In his mind, it's a gift to Tim Walz. Because most politicians, and I've gone through this again and again, most politicians wouldn't have the political will to continue on to hammer Minnesota in the way the Trump administration is currently doing when it comes to the fraud, when it comes to illegal immigration. Most politicians would step back and say, whoa, we got to let this thing cool down because this is a political hot potato. But we don't have a normal politician in the White House. We don't have normal politicians running the federal government. So while Tim Walz may think he's got a free pass on Somali fraud because of this, I dare say he needs to think again, because this ain't going to stop the Trump administration. This is not going to divert their attention away from the fraud in Minnesota, and it's certainly not going to divert their attention from the work of ICE. That will continue. And you know what else will continue? ICE agents will continue to defend themselves if their lives are put in danger by average citizens. And by average citizens, I mean lunatics, not average citizens. These people that are out in the streets in Minnesota today are far from average. These are losers. These are people that don't have a job. These are people that are poor, that live off the government. And little do they know, while they're out there trying to defend their own local government, that very government has been holding them down all along. Useful idiots is what we call that. These are all useful idiots for the communist state and the Somali state of Minnesota.